Hello runner, welcome again in our class of Advanced Excel. Today we are going to look at financial functions. And to illustrate Excel's most popular financial functions, we consider a loan with monthly payment. Let's say we are going to have an interest of 6%, a 20-year duration, and a present value of 150,000 amount that has been borrowed, and the future value is 0. That is what we expect to achieve when we have paid off the loan. We make monthly payment, so that means 6% is going to be divided by 12, so that we are going to use 0.5. The rate, again, since we are making monthly payment, the rate was 20, so you are going to multiply by 12 so that we know the number of we have 20 years, and since it's monthly payment, we multiply by 12 to know the number of monthly the number of months that we are going to pay off that loan. And the number of periods, that is what we have gotten after we have multiplied 20 by 12. Now I meant to say that 6% is the rate, so you divide by that by 12, so that is going to be the rate 0.5, and the number of years is 20, you multiply that by 12, so 240 is the number of periods. And if we make annual payment, then we would have to use 6% instead of 6%. You are not going to divide that by 12, and you are going to use 20. You are not going to multiply that by 12. So according to the example that I want us to use, write exactly the way that we have written here. So in your Excel, write PMT, that stands for payments, rate, number of periods, and present value, that is the amount borrowed, and future value, the final value that is expected at the end of the payments. Now we want to calculate the payments. And we are going to use PMT function. We have financial functions. If you look at them, financial functions, you can see there are so many of them. In this case, we want to work with the PMT, number of PMT, NPV, and you have quite a number of PV. We are going to calculate it. So in this case, we want to work with the PMT. So if you cannot find it very quickly, you can just write it here, and then it is found for you. Okay, so the rate, we know the rate, so the rate is this one. The number of periods, we just click the number of periods, the present value, and the future value, and let's see whether the calculation is going to be made for you. 1074 is what is expected as the payments. Yeah, it have been calculated for us. And in case you didn't know any these others, if you have been given the rest but the rate is the one that you have not been given, so you are going to assume you don't know the rate, and we calculated the rate. So you write rate there, and then now the number of periods is there, PMT is here, PV there, future value there. So again, it is not exactly 0. You may add the number of decimals so that we can see. So if we didn't know the rate, we can calculate it. If we did not know the number of periods, we can calculate that. So let's say n par. Let's see, we know the rate, we know the PMT, we know the PV, and we know the future value PV FV. And now the NP can be calculated. The same with the PV. If we know the rest but we don't know PV, that can be calculated for us. So given late and P and PERL, you given the PMT, future value is also given. Now it is possible to calculate the PV. The same, if we did not know the future value, so let's see, given all the others, given the rate, given the n par, given the PMT, given the future the present value, then it is possible for us to get the future value. So we have seen, given any of the values that are expected to make calculation of a run, it is possible to come with any of them if you don't know one of them. So that is calculation of the financial calculation. That is calculation of the simple values in error calculation. What we need to note here is PMT is the amount of payments, the payments made per period. Then the rate is the interest rate, and the n par is the number of periods the payments are going to be made. The PV is the present value, the amount that has been borrowed, and the future value is the amount expected to be achieved at the end of the payments. So knowing each item represent what, you can calculate any of them if one of them is not given and you are given the rest. So that was about financial functions. They are easy to work with, and I think that is what we have been, or everything we have been able to come up with them. If you look here, they look exactly what we have around. So the statistical functions, let's see, these are working with values. If you have been given some values, a range of them, you can be able to calculate the average or the mean, the by mean I mean, let's see, so that I can, for statistical, if you are calculating average, what does average mean? So it is possible to get an explanation of what average means. By average we mean the mean, or the midpoint, the middle value of the array of the data. Suppose we have 3 people and one has performed, or the first one is holding 5, the second one is holding 5, and the other one is holding 10, meaning maybe these are sharings. If we know what is the mean of them, it is 20 divided by 3. So you can tell how much wealth does the 3 in common have. So each one of them is as much wealthy as the equation. If we equate all of them, they should be the same. Let's see, according to the list that we have here, we may want the average of this list that we have here. So we can compute the average of 1 by 1. So we just come and say we want an average of 9. You calculate the average of each one of them. But now the problem is, if they go above 5, it is not going to accept the others. So instead of doing 1 by 1, it is expected that we provide the entire group like that. So you just select the whole group, and the average of all that is given for you. Well, it may not look exactly like what we have here. Maybe I have some values that are not matching up, so that is not the problem. So long as we have gotten the average okay for all of them, it is quite in order. So we can also average with if, just like we did with sum if. We are averaging if there is a value that is not equal to 0. So we are going to average all of the others, but the one with a 0 is going to be exempted. So this sign means not equals to 0. Median is the middle value out of that group, which is the middle value. So they are ranging from 0 to 8. So the middle value from 0 to 8 should be which? Is it which one? From 0 to 8 is 6 the middle value. Let me see. Median. The number in the middle. So from our group, the number in the middle is 6.5. Well, doesn't matter how they have gotten that, but the ranging from 0 to 8, the one in the middle is supposed to be 8, supposed to be 6.5. Mode is the one that has been repeated the most. So if you look here, 8 has appeared like how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The rest, none has appeared as many times as 8. So it is the more it makes our mode there. Standard deviation, you can also find the standard deviation. This is the square root of the mean. It is, if you look at the standard deviation of these values, you are expected to find something like this. Mean is the smallest of them, so it is 0. The max is the maximum of them, it is 9. So if I am looking for max, so let me see, if I'm looking for max, so by now I suppose you have already you are now comfortable finding the exact function. So you just click function here, or like I said some time back, you can also find for functions from here, or you can go to formula and insert function from there, but it is much quicker to do it from here. So you just locate where you want to insert your function and then click there, and then you don't have to look the function in the group here. So long as you know the name of the function, you can just type it there, and then it is found for you if you click go, and then you can provide the group for which you want to compute using that function. And that was about that. The range is like the range, let's see, so max was 8. Let's see range. So range, let's see, from that group, 3, the third largest. Let's see, if I say 3, it is going to find 8 for me. If I say 2, it is going to find what for me? If I say 1, yeah, have you seen what has happened? The largest number for 1 is 9, but if it is for 2, 9 is only appearing once, so it cannot be taken as our largest second. Our largest second is 8, which is still the same for 3, and for 4 I think it is still the same. 5, I think now 7 comes in there, the largest 7th number. So yeah, you can see how just a little bit different from max. Small is the opposite of large. The smallest second, then you can move along like that until you find the one that is the smallest according to the nth number. Either it is 1, 2, it is going to be different accordingly. So now let us look at lookup functions. Lookup functions look for a value in the leftmost column and return a value in the same row from the other group. So we are looking for a value in this leftmost table, for example 101, and matching it here, so that if it matches 102 here, what is going to be returned, if we say maybe it is the third column. So for vertical lookup we are looking for we are matching in the columns. So we return the third column and we match the values in the first column. And if we go to some values like that, so here we are going to insert v lookup, and the value we are matching is this one. We are matching from this group here, and we are returning the third item, and the third column, I mean the third item in the third column, the item in the third column. And since I'm going to copy this formula down, make sure we fix the rows so that the rows are not going to change. Let's see whether it works out. 103, is it mouse? Yes, 101 is a computer, like that. You can see that it has been matched. And suppose we were matching, let's say now we are going to match using lookup. So lookup. Now we are matching the same value. The group is this one here. So you see we are matching horizontally, that is across the rows. For the case of VLOOKUP, we were matching vertically, but we are matching this vertically in this group. But in the case of lookup, we are matching the same value, but now matching across, so horizontal. And again, return the third item. Again, don't fail to put the $sign because we are copying the formula down the rows. So fix the rows for the case of the reference group or the matching group. So again, it returns as we expected. So that is working with VLOOKUPs and lookups. You have seen how it has worked out for us, and you can see it has worked out exactly the way we wanted it to work out for us. And we can also work with matching. Returns the position of a value in a given range. So we are matching yellow. Yellow is in the, if we are matching in this group, it is in the third position. So index returns a specific value in a two-dimensional or one-dimensional range. So we are matching 3 and 2 here. If we are matching A1, 2 and B2 from this group A4 to F7. So 3 and 2, where do we find that? We are matching 3, 2, so we get 92. So we count 3 rows, 2 columns. You get what is in there in that location. Choosing can also, we want to choose the third item. 1, 2, is it 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is both, so that is what is going to be returned. So from statistical functions, I think now we can look at database functions. So the database functions, we are going to see them: dsum, daverage, dmax. I'm just going to see how different are they from the ordinary financial function, from the ordinary statistical functions. We had sum, we had average, we had max, mean, but now the database functions, how different are they? So even though the main functions of Excel is not for database management, it can still work with the database. So let's see all the discussion, you read it, but I want just to jump all the way to where we have the examples so that we can work out the examples. So we need 3 items. We need the database and the fields and the criteria. So these are the ones we're going to work with. So you can read the notes that you have been provided, see in detail what the database part of the function works out for us, the field and the criteria part. So you have you have some data like this, I suppose. In my case, if you don't just take your time, make your data like that. and then here is where we are going to calculate our summation. We would like to do some database summation. So look for dsum. dsum, it is there. So the database is the entire group, and then the field, we are summing which fields? We are summing sales, and then the criteria is here. So we are looking in this group, the criteria is blue, so the ones that are blue, these are the ones that are going to be summed. If you look, you can see that is what we have seen. So the sales that are blue, those are the ones that are going to be taken and summed for us. So the same case for average. If you look, I should work out just the same way. Let me see, in this case I have also some data for working with average. So again, I want us to do the maximum averages. The averages that are red and they are greater than 2 quantities. Let's see. So what is going to be matched here? We are going to take the average. So in this case, I will just change this here. We are looking for the average. We are going to match the ones that are red, and there are quantities that are greater than 2. We match them, and let me see. So again, the average, that is what I want to look for. So the database, again, it is the whole of that. The field, we are total. I suppose that is what we are averaging, and then the criteria is here. So if you look here, should it get us 36 and 36? Well, did we have the ones that are red and they are greater than 2? How many are they? 36 and 30. And 36 and 30. The average should have been not 11. What did we sum the prices? Okay, we can rectify that. Let's see. Let me sum the prices. Let's see whether it works out. Price. Let's see. Oh, it is 12. And how did that come? 12 and 10. The average should be 11, yeah. And how is mine not coming to that? Okay, let's see. What did I make? We have, in my case, 12 and 10. Okay, this group, did I make it up to the whole of it? I think I left out something. Let's see whether it is now. Yeah, it has come out. I had left out one of the group, so it is like that. So the average, the maximum is just working out just like the average. Out of this group, we are looking for the maximum of the prices. So that is red and greater than 2. Again, it should be, we have only 2 of them that are matching that, and the one that is maximum out of these 2 that are red and greater than 2, it's 12. So it is working for us well. D minimum is exactly like maximum. We are matching out of this group B7 to B14. The prices, the one that is from the criteria red and greater than 2, so only 2 that are red and greater than 2. So out of the 2, the one that is minimum of them is 10, so it should return for you 10 there. And counting, D count exactly also working just like the rest of them. We are counting from this group B7 to E14, and the totals that are red and greater than 10, whose prices are greater than 10. So how many are red and greater than 10? Only 2. So if you count them, it becomes 2. So yeah, so that was about decounting and desumming and all the database functions. We have seen how they are working for us. So they are very beautiful compared to the ordinary counting and summing and maximum and minimum, the ordinary ones we were working with. Here we are adding some more functionality where there is coming about the criteria, and we are providing a database for what we are working with. So that was working with the database functions. I think you can read the discussions here, see whether it is understood. We want now to look at two-level nesting and how it works out. So a two-level nest function means that we use another function as an argument for a function. For example, in this particular case, you can see sum in bracket. Inside sum we have two functions, sum and product. So that is a two-level, the first level and the second level. The second level is the argument functions inside that. So that is a two-level function. See whether it can work out for you, something like this. Hope it does. Tried it earlier, it did work, but because of time I want you to try that around, see whether it works out. An if function also is a good example that comes up with nesting. So in this case we have the first if function, and inside that if function there is another if function. So this is the second level function. Yeah. So see whether it works out for us. I think we can discuss what it has done here. So the if function is comparing C3 is this one. It is comparing whether it is null, if there is anything in there. If there is nothing in there, it tells you it is incomplete. It displays here incomplete. If it is not null, then it goes to the next level, the second level. It looks now in the second level whether C3 is greater than or equal to 65. If it is, then that is a pass, else it is a fail. So in this case it is greater than 65. That is why it has written here pass. Otherwise, if it was not greater than 65, then that should be a fail. Otherwise, if it is null, then that would have not gone to, it would not have gone to the second level. It would have still have ended at the first level by printing incomplete there. So that is nesting. We have seen it earlier in if function. This just a more demonstration now in the sense of reference in our functions. And we can now work out some data like this one here. If you have some data like that one there, let's see whether we can work out a simple calculation like this one here. So using this kind of a key, we want to how many references do we have here? Now this is not 2 references, it is the first reference, the second reference, the third reference, the fourth reference. So this function here is a 4 reference function. So it works out by comparing C5. If it is less than 65, that should be F. If it is not less than 64, it checks now whether it is less than 73, and if that, so it gives, it displays there D. If it is not less than 73, it checks now whether in the third reference whether it is now less than 85. If it is, that is going to be displayed C there. If it is not less than 85, now it goes now to the next reference, fourth reference. It checks now whether C5 is less than 95. That should be B if it is less than 95. But if it is not less than 95, then that is A. So you can see here, this is 92. So 65. So C compared to less than 85. No, it is compared to less than 95, so that is B. Here it was not less than 95, so that was an A. So 79 here, it was less than 85, so that is a C. Like that until everything works out. So that is how we figure out the reference in our comparisons or in our computations using functions. In this case, we were looking at 2-reference or multi-reference nesting. So we can see if there is a function inside a file, just a summary. If there is a function inside another one as an argument of the first one, then that is a reference inside, that is a second reference function. If there is a function inside the first one. If there is a function inside the second nest, we say a function that is inside another one is nested inside the first one. If the second function in the nest has a function inside it, then that is a third reference. Like that, you can have functions inside each other to the end. So in this case that we have here, this is the outer nest. Inside the first nest, there is another nest inside. This is second reference. There is another one inside this one, which is this one. This is the third reference. There is another one inside this one, which is this one. This is the fourth reference. So you can see there's a 4-reference function that we have in our case there. So that was about reference of nesting. So you can see it demonstrated here. If your comparison doesn't fit in the first reference, it goes into the next reference to the fourth reference as it compares out like that. So 3D reference I want us to discuss this in our next session. The next session we are going to have together, we are going to discuss 3D referencing. So let us end our session at this point where we were discussing about levels in our functions. So I hope you have been able to follow through and you have understood the discussion that we have had together. So please, if you have not subscribed to our channel is My Graphics with Z at the end, My Graphics Computer my graphics computer solutions, please do subscribe so that you are going to get notified of other videos that I'm going to share with you. There are many videos that are coming ahead, so to get notified, please make sure you have subscribed that so that you can get notified the moment I'm going to share the other videos that are going to come. So my graphics office solution, that is the channel. If you have loved the video, please do like it and share with a friend also, so that they can get to run with us also. Until we meet again in our next session, see you then. Thanks.